All right, and welcome back to our June 1st edition, breaking down this 15-game MLB slate. My name's Adam, joined with my co-host Frank. Frank, how you doing today?
Great. Nothing better. This is like a giant slate we have today.
Very big slate, very girthy slate, I would have to say. Any recent bets that you hit? I know we had a one-day hiatus yesterday, but anything that
Not really. Just some random tennis bets that I've been hitting. I got TFO today, and then I got Elliot Cars to win, but the odds are not good on that one. I had Blinka to win today, and then I had Tommy Paul, I think that's his name, won this morning at 2 a.m.
okay?
Um, yep.
What's going on right now? The French Open?
Yep, the French Open.
Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, yeah. We'll drop some of those tennis picks down in our discussion forum of our YouTube channel if you're interested in getting in on some of Frank's tennis picks here as we navigate through the French Open. But turning our attention to baseball, again, we do have 15 games today. Weather not really a factor today, given recently we've had a lot of rainouts and possible rain delays that could like we talked about before, impact your decisions when you're doing some of these sites. Particularly, we're big on Prize Picks again. Make a $5 deposit, get up to $50 in your first deposit. Link down in our description. If you would like to get on board with that, it's kind of a nice. You only have to risk $5, and you get 50. You'll end up with $55 in your account, which is super nice if you just want some extra betting money. Try out the new app, and they are a very good app to utilize. And we'll at the very end we'll kind of go through and I'll show you an example of a Prize Picks entry that you can make that will relate to the information we talk about today. So moving right into it, we have St. Louis versus Texas. Uh, we got Texas favored at minus 163, over under at 7.5 runs. I believe the Cardinals did pick up the win yesterday. I'm going to lean towards Texas today in this matchup. Um, Jake DeGrom's had a pretty good start to his year. Eric Fried is kind of inconsistent. Texas pretty much got their full lineup back right now. They are missing Garcia. I'm not sure if he's got an injury right now why he's not in the lineup, but they're all things considered got a pretty full lineup right now. Um, but no confidence really here. No individual players that really stick out as well. But anything sticking out?
Mm, Not really. You're correct. Cardinals did pick up the win yesterday. It was 2-0. Um, but in this game, I actually also lean towards the Texas Rangers. Degom's just been a pretty good pitcher. He's one of the top pitchers in the AL West right now. I mean, it's this game is in my parlay, so it's the
All
first
right.
game in my parlay. Yep.
All right. Kind of a risky one, but I would have more faith in Jake DeGrom for sure in this matchup. So moving on, we got the White Sox going against the Orioles. Baltimore favorite at minus 169, over under set at 9 runs. And when you initially look at this matchup, you see Andrew Hauser 1-0 with a 0 ERA. Charlie Morton over on the Baltimore side 1-7 with a 7.09 ERA. But I will say, do not be confused by that 1-0 record and 0 ERA. Andrew Hauser is not that great of a pitcher. Charlie Morton certainly isn't that bad of a pitcher, but it kind of makes this game kind of difficult to sort of hone in on a particular winner. But I do think I like the over potentially in this game. Not a whole lot of confidence. Um, in terms of looking at somebody on the White Sox side of things, I don't mind taking a sprinkle of Luis Robert stolen bases. Last I checked, he was number one in the Major League Baseball in stolen bases. So just kind of a fun little piece you could sprinkle in there. Outside of that, I always think Gunnar Henderson, if you're looking at runs, hits, RBIs, he's usually as set at 1.5 as the line. And if you ever see that on him and he's going up against a mediocre pitcher, or someone worse, I think you smash that here. Justin Holiday, or sorry, um, what is Holiday's first name? Anyway, Jackson Holiday. Jackson Holiday also has been hitting pretty well for average, having a good second year, so he's always someone you could sprinkle the over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Any other insight on this Baltimore Chicago game?
Yeah, as you said, Adrian Hauser is just not a very good pitcher. Even though his ERA is 0 right now, last year he was just not a viable option as a starting pitcher. Charlie Martin is a much better pitcher. He was much better last year, but he's been losing a couple games here because he just has like no run support. Um, but other than that, I slightly lean towards Baltimore Orioles, but it's not a very sure bet.
Yeah, it's hard to pick the White Sox when they're 18 and 40, and Baltimore
Yeah.
having not as good of a season as the White Sox had. Or sorry, Baltimore not having quite the season they had last year, and they are in a tough AL East matchup. Um, so yeah, moving on. Boston, Atlanta. We got Garrett Crochet. Speaking of a former White Sox player, going up against Bryce Elder. Boston is set at a minus 118 favorite here, and I think that's about right. Garrett Crochet has had another fantastic start to the season. Has that characteristic low ERA. And I do like him in this matchup, although Atlanta does have a fully functioning lineup now with Ronald Acuna back. I do like Boston to get the win here, and I would take Garrett Crochet over in strikeouts. Probably not a parlay piece though, because Bryce Elder's not the worst pitcher in the world, and Atlanta can go off at any time. But I do see Garrett Crochet continuing his quite impressive start to the season. Anything else you got on this game?
Yeah, I agree. Kirk Crochet is pitching phenomenal this year, as usual. Um, in this game, I'm leaning towards the Boston Red Sox because, as I said 3 games ago, that I think Boston's going to take the series. And Atlanta, I think they won last game, so they should win this game. So,
Okay.
yep, they won last game, 5-0.
5-0. All right, moving on. We've got Milwaukee and Philadelphia. Um, Jose Quintana going up against Ranger Suarez. Philly set at a minus 172, over under set at 8 runs. Looking at this game here, Churio was checking out the stats last night, went like 4 for 5 with like 6 RBIs or something. Had a huge game. Always like to bet him in the over 1.5 runs plus hits plus RBIs. I'm not so sure against Ranger Suarez today. This guy's been really good since he started coming into the zone last year. This is another tough one. Jose Quintana has been bouncing around the majors for past 5-6 years. Been kind of bouncing between above average and mediocre. So I don't know. This one just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'd probably lean Philly, but I don't think I'd bet it, and not any real props sticking out here. What about you?
Um, yeah, this game I was leaning towards Phillies actually in the beginning because Ranger Suarez has been pitching really well. Actually, when he started the season though, he wasn't doing that hot. He was losing a couple games, but he's been doing well so far in the last couple of like 4 games or something. But I'm just scared at the spot because the Brewers have been destroying the Phillies. Um,
Oh yeah,
the
they had like
first game of the
18 runs
series, they
last
won
night.
6-2. Yeah, and then they last night was 17-7. Like I lean the Phillies, but I'm scared to choose them because Brewers have been batting out of their minds this series.
All right, yeah, so we're gonna stay. Probably nice to stay away from that game altogether. Moving on, Athletics Toronto. Toronto has been pulverizing the Athletics in this series. We got JP Series going up against Kevin Gosman. Toronto set as a minus 226 favorite, over under set at 8 runs. And I kind of like the over in this game. I also like Toronto. It's minus 226, not terrible. Kevin Gossman's been pretty okay this season. But I do like Toronto, and I do like that over in this game, particularly looking at over unders in this game. I'm gonna sneak in here real quick and check out JP Sears' career against this lineup. And wow, it's pretty barren here actually. Looking at yeah, we got George Springer 0 for 7, Vladimir Guerrero 0 for 6. Bo Bichette only one at bat, but he does not have a hit as well. So yeah, really no props sticking out for me in that one. Just probably the over on the game and Toronto to win the series, or sorry, win the game today. What about you?
Um, I also choose the Blue Jays because JP Spears was actually pitching really well during the beginning of the season, but recently these last 3 games he's been just horrendous. Like last game against Houston, he allowed 10 hits. Um, and then the game before that against the Angels, let's see, he got off a lot of hits again. 8 hits, 6 earned runs. Like he's been pitching really bad lately. And you can't like Gosman is just consistent. So I lean Blue Jays, and it's the second leg of my parlay right now. Um, Even though it's minus 255 right now, but when I was doing the parlay, it was minus 200. So
Okay. Yeah, and I'm not sure how up to date the RotoWire lines are, so very curious to see how that compares to other books here. But JP Spears, I will say, is not as bad as his ERA indicates, and that should go back down a little bit. But yeah, he has been pitching pretty bad here recently. I don't see anything changing today against
yeah,
Toronto.
I think he'll come back better, but right now he's just not. I just can't get there with him.
All right. Moving on, we got the Los Angeles Angels going against the Cleveland Guardians. I don't know how to say that guy's name, but he's 3-6 with a 5.07 ERA going up against Gavin Williams. Cleveland set as a minus 202 favorite, over under set at 8 runs. And me and Frank had a bet earlier on in this week on the outcome of this series, and due to unfortunate circumstances, we could not go live yesterday. But I will say I am right back at it again. I'm taking the Angels in this one. Call me crazy, plus money going up against Cleveland just because I think the Angels are going to do me right for Frank chickening out of that Shuey bet. Nothing really else to add here today. I always like Zach Neto over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. He's been on fire. Also Taylor Ward, not a bad sprinkle in there. Are you willing to go up
Hmm.
against me today, Frank?
Again against
Yes.
Cleveland. Let's see.
I'm giving you good
Um,
odds, minus 202.
yeah, I know, but Cleveland's just been allowing a lot of runs lately, and the Angels haven't been putting up any runs in the last like 8 games until they played Cleveland. So yeah, sure. I like Cleveland in this game, but I slightly lean Cleveland. I don't have any skin in the game. Yep.
Fine. Moving on. Colorado, New York Mets. Colorado is 9-49 on the season. Terrible. The Mets 36-22. Carson Palmquist going up against Clay Holmes. I'll be honest with you, I haven't really done much research on any of these pitchers this year, but I can tell you right now that I'm taking the Mets in this matchup. It's not even close. Um, I'm betting Juan Soto to hit a home run. I'm betting Francisco Lindor to hit a home run. I'm betting them both plus 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. And I'm betting the Mets to win by more than 1.5 runs. I could actually get behind the Mets winning by 2.5 runs if you want to make it a little bit spicier. I don't think the Colorado has any chance in this game. You could probably bet whatever the hell you want on this, and it's going to hit if you bet that Mets money line. Always gamble responsibly, of course. But yeah, I mean, pretty much you could bet any player in this Mets lineup to go over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. But yeah, anything else you're seeing that you feel in Colorado?
No. What? No. They're just terrible. Dude, I have the Mets as my third leg of my parlay, final leg of my parlay, minus 1.5.
All
Okay?
right, you getting that?
It's just no comparison. The Rockies are so bad.
One thing I will add that makes this sorry about that makes this home run these home run plays a little bit more spicy is we have the wind blowing 16 miles per hour to the outfield. Um, this is a perfect. If this was in Colorado, that's the only thing that could have possibly made this scenario better. But yeah, Juan Soto, even Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, any of these big bats, really plus matchup here. All right, moving on. I'll let you take this one over, Frank. We got San Francisco going up against Miami. We got Hayden Birdsong going up against Ryan Weathers. San Francisco at a minus 121, over under set at 8 runs, and that line is a lot closer than I thought it would be. To be honest with you, any insight in this game?
Yeah, Hayden Birdsong has been pitching really well, and the last game, Ryan Weathers was just almost perfect, actually. So I don't think a lot of runs are going to be scored in this game. I actually have the under 8.5. Well, I lean the under because it's not my parlay. Yep.
Yeah, the first thing that stuck out to me was that over under at 8 when I'm looking at this. Both these pitchers been pretty solid. And yeah, not I wouldn't pick a winner in this one though. Although you are getting a good line there on San Francisco, but yeah,
Yeah,
something
it's tough to
something
call.
sketchy.
It's like off by one, two hits, like runs. It's just tough to call who's going to win.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Detroit, Kansas City, Kiter, Montero going up against Chris Bubik. Bubik, not sure if I'm Bubik, not sure if I'm saying that correctly. We've got Kansas City minus 165 favorite, over under set at 8.5 runs. Detroit's had a really good season. The Royals, again, we talked about it last time. They're doing okay. They might be trending towards a little bit better here. I definitely won't be making a pick in this one. I would not bet this one, but there is one thing I do like. Victor Pasaquinto does have a home run against Kiter Montero, um, and I think I would take a home run prop or over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs on him, but not pick anybody in this matchup. What about you?
Um, I don't have any picks for players, but I do slightly lean Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, I think they have
That's
the
all I
better
got.
pitching matchup. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a sprinkle here and see how this lineup does against Michael Bubik. And I mean they're okay. Nobody
Yeah. It's,
stands out. So, all right, fair enough. Moving on, 2:10 start game here. We've got Tampa Bay versus Houston. Taj Bradley versus Hunter Brown. We have Houston is a minus 173 favorite, over under set at 7.5 runs, and Hunter Brown's had a really good start to the season. Really coming into his own as a starting pitcher in the league. Um, These games have been very close. I believe Houston won game one. I want to say Tampa Bay might have snuck out the win yesterday, but I cannot remember off the top of my head. Um,
no. Yep.
yeah, Caminero hit 2 home runs, I believe. Um, or no, no. Well, we got Caminero and Caballero. Ah, very similar names there. But yeah, nothing really sticking out to me here. I'd probably pick Houston. Um, Maybe the over under is kind of could go either way for me too. No real props sticking out for me. I always like Jeremy Pena, top of the lineup. Um, Been hitting pretty well this season, so I'd take his hits, runs, RBIs, but nothing really else for me here. What about you?
I'm actually slightly leaning Tampa Bay because this is the fourth
Oh,
game so far, and Astros have lost 13-1 first game. The Astros won 2-1 the second game, and then Tampa Bay again destroyed them 16-3. This is the fourth game, so I actually picked Tampa Bay because they've just been their bats haven't been hot in this series, and Houston barely scored.
Not as hot as you, Frank.
No, yeah, and it's
Mm.
super hot.
All right, got a little bit of a discrepancy there. I like that hot take. Moving on, we have the Reds versus the Cubs. We have Nick Martinez going against Jameson Taillon. Cubs set at a minus 161 favorite. Over under set at 7 runs. Looking at the starters ERA, very similar, but Cubs are a much better team this season. Their lineup has been crushing it. They've got like 3 people on their team in the top, actually maybe 4 people on their team in the top 5, top 10 in RBIs in the National League. I'm picking the Cubs here. I like that line minus 161. And I also like Pete Crow Armstrong to hit a home run today. Although the wind is blowing in, so might be a little risky, but I'm taking that from this game. What about you?
I'm actually with you on this one. I think the Cubs should win. They have just been playing really well this year, and the pitching matchup is pretty much even. But the Cubs just have a much stronger lineup, so I'm leaning the Cubs. And I'm from Chicago, so I got to pick the Cubs. Support.
What? Wait, do you support the White Sox too?
Yo, I support Chicago, but the White Sox have been sucking this year. They're
Chicago,
so bad.
Chicago sucks.
Yeah, well,
Sorry, Chicago sucks.
I know. You're from St. Louis. Ooh, St. Louis. Ooh.
I mean, we got the Arch. What do you got up there in Chicago?
We got, we got, we got,
Violence. Well, I mean,
we got Sears Tower. Okay, it's not whatever the new tower is called. It's Sears Tower still. Okay, forever.
okay, okay. I'm not gonna push you here. It seems like you're very protective of your Chicago homage. So
Now it's
move.
called Willis Tower, but Sears Tower. Okay, everybody at Sears Tower.
Mm-mm-mm. Anyhow, Minnesota going up against Seattle. Chris Paddock going against Luis Castillo. Seattle set at a minus 138 favorite. Over under set at 7.5 runs. Um, Close game, close matchup. Looking at specific players, Cal Raleigh has been crushing it this season. He's already got like 22, 23 home runs. I think he's hit a home run in back-to-back games. I hit 2 in the first game, 1 yesterday. Let's roll with it. We're gonna go 3 in a row. We're gonna pick him for a home run today. Um, I also like Polanco always to go over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. He started off really hot coming back off injury. Kind of cooled off a bit today. But Chris Paddock, he's been around for a while. Not the greatest pitcher in the world. Um, I would lean Seattle here and maybe hit up a couple of those bigger bats to hit home runs on the Seattle side. What about you?
Mm, this game is very, very tough to call. Their records this season is even. Pitching ERAs are pretty even, above threes. Whips are almost the same. I mean, I I don't want to make a pick here, but if I have to pick, I would go to Twins because recently their bats have been hot. That's all I got. But
All
I
right.
don't I don't want to place any money on this bet. I don't want to go near it.
All right. Yeah, no, I mean, looking through a lot of these games this season, and one thing I have noticed is that a lot of these ERAs on these pitchers seem to be lower than they've been in years past. I don't know if we've got I mean, but then you look and you've got Otani hitting 20 home runs. You've got Judge up there again. You've got Cal Raleigh hitting a bunch. Even some of the guys on the Athletics have been having really good starts this season. So it's kind of boom or bust in some of these games. And yeah, there's the thing about baseball is it's always totally random. If you pick the best ERA, you pick the best lineup each day. I mean, there's always going to be discrepancies. So that's why I like to sometimes do props as opposed to games. But yeah, there's some spots that stick out today, like the Mets. So gotta go Mets. Bet the house on Mets. Moving on. Washington versus Arizona. Oh, we have somebody in the chat. Let's see. So what picks are you guys doing? Oh, sorry, sir. Have you been watching? Is all I gotta say. We are giving you all of our picks. You must have came in a little bit late, but we had some big picks. You need money. Well, so do we. That's why we started a YouTube channel. Cheesy poops. I, I I feel like I've heard that before. Is that South Park? Mods ban that guy. Moving on, Washington versus Arizona. We got Mitchell Parker going up against Corbin Burns. Arizona set as a minus 243 favorite. Over under set at 9 runs. Um, Man, Washington, holy moly, have they been doing really well? And we've been picking them at plus. Well, I've been picking them at plus money. I think we had a similarity a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago, but I'm going Washington again. Screw it. Continue on the Washington train here. James Wood has been on fire. Eventually, that fire has to burn out a little bit. He's a rookie in the league. I think I like James Wood to hit a home run here. Yeah, it's Corbin Burns. Yeah, he's pretty good this season, but you know what? That's some strong wood, and I think we could see that Wood hit a home run today. And I'm picking Washington at pretty good plus money here, um, as my favorite. I wouldn't parlay it, but if you want a single straight up bet, I don't think you could go wrong with Washington the way they've been hitting here recently. What about you?
Bruh. Um, you know, I lean the Diamondbacks as a smart better because Corbin Burns is Corporal Burns, and I've been following him since
What
like
the? What does
he's
that even
been in
mean?
Milwaukee. Corporal Burns, dude. He's been pitching really well since like he's been in Milwaukee, But anyways, the last couple games, as you have said, Nationals have been batting over 9 runs a game. Last 4 games, okay. And as a smart better, I choose Diamondbacks because they have a better lineup, but the Nationals just keep scoring. So I lean Diamondbacks as a smart better, but anything goes in this game because the Nationals have been just scoring a lot.
All right. All right, so there's your spicy take. Got 2 games left here. Um, and you know what? I think if I wanted to get real spicy today, I would parlay all 3 of these games. I would take Washington, I would take San Diego, and I would take the Dodgers as a three-way parlay. This should be a good at least plus 700, plus 1,000 money line here. Um, but Pittsburgh, San Diego, Andrew Heaney going up against Randy Vasquez. San Diego set as a minus 152 favorite. Over under set at 8.5 runs. It's Pittsburgh. It's San Diego. You pick San Diego every single time. I don't care who's pitching. Manny Machado crushes lefties. I'm picking Manny Machado to hit a home run here. And yeah, that's all I really got from this one. The line is pretty good, minus 152. Yeah, Andrew Heaney, it's okay. He used to play for San Diego, going up against his former team. I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think he could stop these guys. I don't know a lot about Randy Vasquez this season. I haven't been following a lot of his games, but I mean, look at that Pirates lineup. Outside of O'Neal Cruz, I mean, Reynolds is okay. McCutcheon, doing good in his latter years, but the lineup is just a lot more stacked, a lot more deep on the San Diego side, and I'm smashing that San Diego money line. What about you?
I think you need an update on your stats or something, dude. Andrew Heaney did not play for the Padres, bro.
I
You
don't
said he
believe
used
you,
to,
dude. You want to have a shoey bet on this?
dude. Dude, I remember him from Texas. Okay, he's from Texas.
No, I
Texans.
think
He's
you're
on the
wrong.
Texans. Look,
My, my
2024
God,
Texans, 2023 Texans, 2022 Dodgers, 21 New York, 21 2019 blah 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 blah
I
till
think I think
2015
okay, okay,
LA
okay.
Angels, dude.
Chill, Daddy, chill.
I remember him from Texas, and he didn't do that hot in Texas. That's
Who?
why I don't bet him ever. Anyways, I got San Diego.
San Diego. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where I'm getting this Andrew Heaney. I must be thinking of some other Heaney. Um, maybe his brother, Mark Heaney. Somebody has pitched for San Diego before. So this is not a revenge matchup, but um, even if it was, I don't I don't see him doing a whole hell of a lot against the San Diego lineup. So one last game. We got the New York Yankees versus the Japanese Dodgers. We've got Ryan Yarball going up against Yamamoto, and yeah, Team Japan should win here today. Um, they have been putting up some massive run totals against the Yankees, almost like they're taking this personal. But yeah, pick any Japanese player on the Dodgers side and bet the over. Um, they do have Kim. I don't know why he's not in the projected lineup for today. He might be. They might be thinking he's getting a rest day today on Sunday. But if he's in there, you know, over on him. Otani, home run. Yamamoto, over 10 strikeouts. I like all those plays. I like the Dodgers to win. And I'm going to take a crazy parlay. I'm taking Washington, San Diego, and the Dodgers. And while I'm making a prize picks lineup here at the end, Frank, if you want to pull up what those odds would be, we can kind of see uh, what that would get us. So, any takes on this last game on the slate?
Yeah, what am I gonna say? Dodgers, Dodgers, Dodgers. They've won both games this series so far. Shohei Otani's been scoring a lot, like home runs. What did I say before? Remember New York? We had New York the first game of this series, and I was like, I'm scared, man. Shohei Otani's a baller. Do you remember I said that? And then guess what? He hit home runs.
Well, I have a
And guess what?
conspiracy
Dodgers
theory.
won.
Aaron Judge, Otani hit home runs in both of their first at
Yeah,
bats in that first game.
I
I
think that.
think it was rigged. I think they did that on purpose to boost viewership. They had a
I don't know.
gentleman's
Maybe I
agreement.
heard. I heard there was some chats, and they were like, they're just lobbying to them almost.
I wouldn't be surprised if Otani made a bet on him and Judge to hit a home run on their first at bat, and that could be. I'm not sure if his handler or his gambling buddy got released early and got the line in for him, or if he had some prison picks. I'm not sure what happened there, but I do think Otani's hitting a home run today. Um, and I do think Team Japan prevails. So, anything else you want to add before we go into our prize picks pick of the day?
Yeah. So actually, I forgot to put my headphones in today, so I could hear everything you said. But anyways, I'll fix that next video.
All right, talking about our technical difficulties over here at Props and Picks TV. We
Totally
are still
forgot.
getting started. Hit a thumbs up, and if we get you a win, make sure to post it down below. All right,
And
and
that's a
I have
that's
to
a wrap.
I have to go. Emergency cancellation of the rest of the stream, but I will be posting our prize picks up.